3,000 yards for the season.
It's the Eagles and the Giants on Sunday Night Primetime.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Tua to throw right away. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, that's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers finding space at the 40. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
Check right. Nick right. Let's go.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 128. He's now tied with Marvin Harrison for number 9 on the all-time list. And the Giants put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. We'll see a return here from the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat with a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
They'll roll him out right. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 more on that one and another first down. They go play action with Hurts. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's got his man in stride, complete. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
We certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Dances by him. Look at those stick skills. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 7-7, our score after 1. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Running left, it's Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Here's Tua. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up fourth down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. It's going to be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, first and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. First and 10, down at the 33. Hurts throw there taken in by Smith. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Garrett Wilson. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Possession switching back to the New York Giants. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 27, Tua on target to his man, Likely. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down. Meanwhile, Tua's throw is on target to Likely. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Tua to throw again. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's going to be out of bounds downs, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. That's caught by Myers. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big pickup of 38. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Steps away to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. 2 now, 3rd and goal. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks...
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And the Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this 3rd quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the 2nd half, Charles, remember in that 1st half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that 1st half.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turn the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
A couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He'll get this to Edwards out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. It's Edwards again. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Well, these two teams hooking up for the 2nd time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the Eagles who got the win on the road, so now they look to... And oh, he coughed it up! And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And now off off to the races down the right side. 30, 10, 5, and this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. And now, as with every potential
play is under review.
take a second look.
After review of the play, ruling on
So
the field
that would
of first.
overturn. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On third down, here's Edwards. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll look to run with Edwards. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Pass incomplete.
Well, Bernie, they've certainly played up to the top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On play action, here's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Taking it about the 36. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
He finds Wilson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They give him a gain of 37. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps should go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Edwards. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Edwards is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Able to punch it in on third down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC.
A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs.
To a hit, and the ball is out.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop it.
And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
They're certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
On third and long, it's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And that will come the offense as they take over.
It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times?
It's caught inside the 25.
And he's going to be taken out of bounds, but not before he gets this all the way down to the 10.
So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
The ball on the 8 still could get a first down technically, 2nd and 7.
They run once more with Edwards. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. Standing alone with a new NFL record, 32nd touchdown.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
On first down, Tagovailoa. And that's off the mark, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire...
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Inside the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Point after here coming up. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now out come the Giants. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 52 yards on the ground for him so far. A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Tua. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
To throw again on second down. Tua. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Tua sets up to pass it. Incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Got a man and he hits him in stride. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Looking to pass. Tua. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On second down, it's Edwards. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. And some room to run now. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.